Marna.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me. I really
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming by. This is my thing that I've been doing where I just kind of highlight people here in Arizona that are getting a lot done, and you are. Honestly, it was kind of, when I started digging into you, I was like, this is kind of endless. Let me start. You got to do a lot of zine stuff. Viva Vox Press, Bside Zines, Victemless Grime Photography you've been getting into lately. We've been talking about that. It's really awesome. And then you co-founded Wasted Ink zine distro. Tell us about that. That's awesome. I've been looking to. You guys do like those little collage nights, right? That you've been doing a couple times.
My business partner at the time, she decided to contact, what was it? Is it like Phoenix Collage or something like that?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
the event.
It's a club.
Okay.
And they get together and they collage things and things like that.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
so she decided to have them come to Wasted Ink, the Hive Gallery. Have you ever been there?
I was checking out pictures. I haven't been there yet. Yeah,
you have to go
to
the
wait,
Hive.
the Hive in Flagstaff?
No.
Oh, okay, no. I'm thinking
this is
of
on like 16th.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking. Okay, never mind.
This is on 16th and McDowell.
Okay, cool.
And the Hive Gallery is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous little art. I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah, really. It's
awesome.
And
it's got little businesses inside of it too. And it's got like a little foyer, and in the back there's like a cactus garden.
I was gonna say it looks really relaxed.
There's an
like
Airbnb there.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
really?
the guy that owns it, Steve. He's amazing. He's an architect, and he has like a really old school like camper RV that he has back there.
Nice.
With like a outdoor shower, and you can rent that Airbnb.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
It's
I know
really
plenty of
cool.
people. I have people that I've worked with that do that. Just rent out a little area in the back, and someone just brings an air mattress. So yeah,
right.
Anything. That sounds awesome. But yeah, it's a really cozy spot. I was checking out a bunch of pictures of it. There's like little bean bags and everything for people to chill out. But it, I mean, what's kind of like the main purpose of that place? Is just kind of just to create a creative space, or?
I'm from California. I came here from LA. And I've been doing zines since I was 17 years old. And when I was doing them, though, it was like anarchist, like my first zine fest was an anarchist book fair,
nice.
And that's kind of how I got into it, all the DIY stuff, And then I kept doing that, trying to push zines. And my motive for that was to bring down conglomerate media, to bring the news back to the people, promote diversity and the inner voices and stuff like that, and also the thought of doing things yourself and not having to depend on authority figures or other people. Just,
I love all that. That's
yeah,
great. That's
exactly.
Really cool.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Awesome. Yeah, and exactly, and that's the cool thing about it. And I was just telling you before we started, it's like. It's easy to do this with video. It's really easy, but to have the motivation to do it in print, and if you're living under a rock and you don't know what a zine is, it's basically a DIY magazine.
Correct. Yes, it is. Self-published works, and pretty much with this like medium, it's really cool because it's not censored.
Exactly.
I mean, it's freedom of speech, to the fullest.
Well, there's a lot of illustrations on the covers. Who's doing those? Are you doing those too, or
the illustrations of B-sides?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. The B-sides only do that. Yeah.
For B-sides, I just get like an artist that I'm interviewing in the particular issue, and I pick one of their pieces to put in the front of it.
Some great covers. Yeah. That's really cool.
Thank you. So like when I came here to Arizona, I didn't think that there was really much of a zine presence. I was going to this place at the Sail Inn when it was still open, RIP. It was Tag. It was Tempe Art A Go-Go.
Oh, okay, cool.
Are you familiar?
I'm not actually, no.
Okay. I think it's like the last Fridays of every month.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Tempe Art A Go-Go would happen here at the Sail Inn, or there at the Sail Inn a long time ago. And I asked if I could put my zines out because nobody else was doing zines, and then they'd have bands playing things, and then I realized that like this place has an amazing scene, musical scene.
That's cool that you say that, especially coming from LA, and everyone thinks that's the place to go to get music scene. Yeah, that's really cool. What you say.
It's potent as hell here.
It's every genre you can think of.
Every genre, like there's a lot of good things coming out of here, and like. Now I'm like honored to be a part of the scene here too.
That's really cool. That's awesome. That's really
but
awesome.
So like I was like, well, let's just get a fanzine out, you know, because I was doing fanzines in LA and I wanted to do a fanzine here. And so I pretty much started when Long Wongs was still open on Apache. All the artists were going to Long Wongs. And so they were easily accessible and I got to interview them, and then I did B-Sides 1. And then a few years after that, I had the opportunity to go to the LA Zine Fest, and I wanted to bring AZ zines. Right. So I did a call out, and I was like, is there anybody else that does zines around here? Like, I want to do it. I want to bring all the zines to LA, you know, and show everybody what the desert looks like. And a lady had contacted me, and she had done her first zine. It was like a feminist zine. And super excited, and you know, she just talked about how we needed that kind of thing. There was nothing around here for that. So I took her with me, and she loved it. And when we came back, I was surprised that there wasn't a Phoenix Zine Fest yet. At all.
You know, and you bring that up. It actually, I'm trying to think of. I can't think of anything else. I guess, but it's not really my world, I suppose. But
but there's like Zine Fests already, you know, that have been going on for years in different places in the U.S. You know, like they're pretty big, but there wasn't one here in Phoenix. So we decided that it was important that we have that, and also open up a zine shop. We started in Tempe. On 52nd and University, and then QT bought us out. Exactly. And then we moved to the Hive Gallery, and when we moved to the Hive Gallery, that's kind of when things started going, because then we had a lot of foot traffic. Did the Phoenix Zine Fest, and then we kind of got like a scene going. People started coming out of the woodwork. And then we realized that there is a ton of people that do self-published work here in Phoenix, so cool. And they're all wonderful, and they all have things to say, and just like many varying perspectives, and it's amazing.
That is my timer for my game. I always hate to. It's not my phone. Sorry, but that was good. I want to. That's my timer for my game. Everybody knows that by now. But yeah, sorry to cut you off there. That is a really good point. I do love that, because a lot of people just need that spark of change. You know, that
we wanted a brick and mortar. Because that's what zines are. They're print. They're like real things. They're not on the internet. I mean, you could read blogs all day. You could read internet zines all day, but it's not the same. It definitely isn't. I just want to like really make that clear.
Real quick before we do jump into this game, I do want to, before I forget, how do you, when you do the interviews, do you like do a tape recorder and then like later write everything down, or are you just like writing as
sometimes, yes, I do that, and then sometimes I just email interviews, and then like, you know, I just format it, try to edit it, make it look nice.
Correct the theirs and all those stupid. Because I'd be that person. Cool. Let me set up this game real quick. Okay. So you guys can't see me, but I'm here. We're going to play tic-tac-toe, and we're going to play flip cup, and we're going to find out who wins. He is. So we're going to go like this. Flip it over, and when it lands, you pick your space. Stay right there. Oh, dude, you can move it if you want. It doesn't have to stay in that position.
Oh, okay.
Damn it, you won. Okay. Woo! Quick little thing I do. I always like having a fun game. So we've been pretty much leading up to all this. Now we can finally break into my questions here. How did you ultimately get started? I mean, what kind of motivated you in the beginning to start doing zines and stuff in LA?
It was like my high school journalism class. We weren't allowed to write about issues that were going on around us outside of school. You know, it had to be high school, school related, whatever. And a group of us were just like, no, that's not what we want to do. We want to do like, you know, the hard hitting issues and things that like we actually do care about. Cause
they're probably like 14, 15 years old, I'm guessing, or?
This was senior year.
Oh, okay, it's a little bit old, Okay, cool.
And so we all got together and decided that we were gonna just make like a little newspaper with articles that we wanted to write about. And then we started in 2001. I graduated in 2000, so that's pretty cool. But we did Ad Infinitum magazine. Which means without ender limits in Latin, and pretty much what the concept of that was like there was no end to how much you could write about any topic, no limits to any topic that you wanted to write about. And I did that for 7 years. And it was cool because the people that I worked with in college for the newspaper and for the magazine that published their stuff was willing to publish our little thing.
That's really cool.
For like hella cheap.
Great opportunity.
Yeah. So we like printed 2,000 copies like every time.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it was mostly a fanzine though. It was mostly based on like music that was coming out of there, which was like punk.
Right, and then I'm guessing you guys were distributing yourselves, like going to the places, and that's cool. That's really
Melrose.
badass.
We'd hit up Melrose, and then we hit up Hollywood, and we'd just go everywhere.
That's badass.
Yeah,
that is really, really cool.
Yeah, it was cool, and like I was doing it also because I realized that press can pretty much get into anything for free. So I like toured with the band's Warped Tour, and like interviewed all the bands there and stuff like that. So like it really changed my life, I was kind of like a really shy person, believe it or not, and like it kind of brought me out of my shell, and it allowed me to interview people that I admired and that I like believed in and cared about, and that's kind of just that was the tone.
Yeah,
like
that's
set
really
me on my way.
badass too. Yeah. And it's great to gain perspectives in that way. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I've gained from interviewing people is just seeing how other people live, and just like that's really cool. You're able to go on tours and stuff with. I mean, I'd be all about that, being a musician myself. That'd be really, really awesome. It
was cool. I'm not like a musician. Like I was doing I was a vendor, at the Warped Tour, which was pretty weird. But I mean, just the same. It was
just to see him like after that 10th show, I always think about that with bands on tour.
I'd steal all the hamburgers and stuff that have barbecues.
That's badass. That's really cool. So I'm sorry. When did you say you came to Arizona finally, or?
I came to Arizona, let's see, 2013, 2012, about
so
7.
Busy, that time. That's really cool.
And I was just talking about this to a friend last night. It's like, I think that I was a little bit more successful here. I was able to be quicker because I had learned all the skills and everything that I had going on for me in California, and because it's so saturated, everybody is doing something in California.
Right.
It was hard to break through.
Yeah.
So then
I feel like that sometimes. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's what I feel like there.
But then I came here, and it was like barren desert. Like there was not really much going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it was really easy to be seen here. It was like big fish, small pond, and
awesome.
Just started doing it.
Yeah, especially because you're saying you had the experience already sort of built up there. So that's really badass.